My name is Daniel from Uruguay. I've been here in China for almost 5 years doing the beef business. Coming from Uruguay, a country mostly known only for football, but with more than 100 years experience of beef production. I invite you to know a little bit more about Uruguayan beef, about my experience in China, and about Belt and Road. To know a little bit more about Uruguayan beef, about my story, and about Belt and Road. Welcome to The Point with Liu Xing.
You are the first person from Latin America that I'm interviewing since I came back to China, so I'm really interested in finding out what is your story in China. When did you come to China and what made you come to China?
Well, that's a good question. I arrived to China in 2013, beginning of 2013. I arrived here, first of all, impressed about the culture. I wanted to learn more about Chinese culture. With this, I had made my idea to start my business from beef from my country here. So I arrived to see what was going to happen. And in the worst of the cases, okay, I arrived to China, I learned about Chinese culture, and okay, I will get back home. But suddenly everything started working very, very fast.
You make it sound kind of magical. I'm sure on a daily basis it's twists and turns, I guess. What is the magic you find, or what is the key that you find in doing business here?
The key, I think the personal relations here are very, very important, you know. If you start knowing the people and you know what you are doing, you know, it will take you maybe a little bit more time, less time, but finally it will happen, you know. It's just focus on one point and focus on the relations with people, and things start happening slowly.
The relations with people, is that what you are seeing for the success of the Belt and Road Initiative as well?
Yeah.
What is the Belt and Road Initiative for you?
For me it's a very ambitious initiative that can change the politics and economics of the world, you know. We can see that crazy things are happening on the world nowadays, you know. We need something new happening. This initiative could change the whole view and the big participants there on this story. You know, we can see China that is trying to lead this, showing the power and the position that they want to take on this.
How is that affecting your business? Your dream of bringing more quality beef to China, how does that affect your business?
I think that would be great. This kind of politics are always great. I tell you why. This will make economies, first of China, to grow faster than what happens today, you know. This will make a more wealthy economy, and when you have a more wealthy economy, the best thing that you want quality food for your people, for your sons, you know. This in relation to China, and also will create huge opportunities around the countries around China that are on this area of the Belt and Road, because they are all developing economies, you know. An economy to develop, you need technology, market, capital, infrastructure, and China has all of them, you know. So can help them to grow very fast, and I would love to see more countries with more wealthy economies.
What do people think about this Belt and Road Initiative in Uruguay or in Latin America? Is there much talk about it, or if not, is that a problem for you in trying to do more on the initiative?
Yes, of course. Let's be honest. For the regular people, you know, on Latin America, they don't talk much about this because they see it very, very, very far away, and they have their own problems day to day. To be honest. But at a political level, yes, people are having a look, putting an eye here to see how these things are going, and waiting and looking for the opportunities. For example, the president of my country was here last year, had a meeting with Xi Jinping, saying that he was going to support this initiative of the Belt and Road.
In what way can Uruguay play in the Belt and Road Initiative besides benefiting from the increased business activity and, you know, need for food?
Yeah, well, Uruguay has a very clear politic about this. Uruguay is one of the most economies, the most regular economies, the more it has no political issues, you know, and it has a very clear economy where you can see if you want to invest, what will happen. There are not big changes. So
so it's very stable, very predictable.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, the indexes show that, you know, so Uruguay is a very good country for investing. We are trying to use Uruguay as a window to go into Latin America, you know, with very clear rules, with very stable economics and very stable politics.
Chinese people have also been increasingly investing in Uruguay and doing trade with Uruguay. The latest statistics is China has become the #1 trading partner with Uruguay, even more than its neighbor of Brazil and Argentina. So where do you see the future going?
Well, the future, look, the ambassador of China in Uruguay gave an interview 2 days ago saying that the political and economic relation between China and Uruguay is in the best moment of history. This year, we are celebrating the 29th anniversary of politics and trade business between Uruguay and China. So the relation is getting better and better and better. Uruguay for China now is a strategic partner in Latin America. We have a long relation of commitment, both countries, where we are always opening doors to China to go into Uruguay. We could see, for example, now we have a lot of investments of Chinese companies in Uruguay, happened in the last 5 years. That was crazy in the past, thinking about receiving Chinese investors in Uruguay. But now we have like car factories from China. We have 2 slaughterhouses bought by a Chinese company.
Slaughterhouses?
Yes, yes, yes. They know what is good and they go for it, you know.
Okay.
And it happens to me in the daily days. Every day they asking me for investment possibilities of investing, because we have natural resources there that is difficult to find nowadays.
How is this kind of investment viewed in Uruguay? And what benefits do you think it has brought to the Uruguayan economy and the people?
Yeah, well, they are very welcome. I tell you why. Because it's not that they just go and they make investments. They make investments, but they improve the technology, the infrastructure of the industry, you know, and that makes our industry to become better and better and better with investments and knowledge. We know that here in China, the knowledge about industry and about how to move an economy that you have, you know, so they are more than welcome, and the government is like making like big projects to receive Chinese investments in the future.
What is your dream in the next 5 or 10 years, and how do you plan to achieve that?
Well, in terms of business, my dream, let's say, we launched a new brand here, the brand Castibeef, direct from Uruguay here in China. We are selling in different areas of the market, through e-commerce, through supermarkets. We are selling to restaurants, a local distribution here in China. My dream is to position the brand as the top quality beef brand here in China and teach Chinese population about the benefits of this product and how to use it.
Very interesting, you mentioned using e-commerce to achieve your dream, and I really want to just ask more a little bit about that, because you're trying to use WeChat, which is the Chinese answer, let's say, to Twitter, but it's much bigger than Twitter. Yeah. So you're trying to use WeChat to sell beef. This is quite a new idea. How successful, how big it is for you?
Well, actually it started really well. We decided to start on the e-commerce basis because from my point of view and the point of view of my team, that is the way nowadays how the market in China works, you know. The young people, that they are the people more worried to get some foreign products and to learn about them, are using a lot the e-commerce. So we trust on these channels to sell our beef from this office, from this warehouse, to whole China without need to have shops all around China. I find this is amazing, and these things happen in China.
Yeah.
When I talk to my people in my country about this, they find this crazy.
Because you can't, basically I wouldn't think about buying beef on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Mostly I would go to a shop, go to a butcher shop and say I want this and that. And the model is working.
It's working, yeah. Nowadays it's booming. The e-commerce for food is booming, and for imported food too. And the users of these channels, they are mainly young people between 25 and 40 years old that they learn. And through e-commerce I can communicate too. I can give information that we need that to teach the people about our product. So I find this perfect balance.
Finally, if there is one thing you want to see improving, you want to see done better in doing business in China, or when it comes to the Belt and Road Initiative, what would it be? What would you want to have slightly better?
Okay. I think we need to learn how to deal with the foreign suppliers, with the foreign countries, to make a more efficient way of doing business, you know, because the market here is huge and the time is very limited. So the more efficient, the better business you can have and the best deals you can get for me, for my customers, for the end users. I think that's the main point to work in the future, you know, just to be how to work the relations with all these countries that will be involved on the Belt and Road.